Recently in the community, someone asked to post your top 10 albums that affected you the most, personally. And there was a long list of responses, and I wanted to file my own responses, but I really couldn't bring myself to narrow down just to 10 top 10 albums. If I had to make a list of it, I think most albums that I would think would be most influential on me, I probably don't even own, or don't own anymore. But one album did strike in my mind as maybe the one that got me where I am today in terms of music, my musical taste, and it would be this one. Yeah, Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on the Run, 1973. I think that was the third album I bought with my own money. And I bought it because a friend of mine let me borrow his cassette. He had a cassette tape of that, and he let me borrow it. And I played it over and over again. I just loved that album. I still love that album to this very day. But that album was my gateway drug into probably to the Beatles and other things. I think that it predates my first Beatles purchase.
Late at night when the wind is still, I'll come flying.
I love the track Bluebird. I love that guitar and the Spanish guitars and the saxophone intro to that, the saxophone solo in that song. It was like the radio friendliness that drew me to this album. It was the other songs on it that really spoke to me. Picasso's Last Words is actually 3 songs if you think about it. It starts off with the lead vocal by Danny Lang, and it has this bridge together with a softer version of using parts of Jet, and then it ends off with the drunken chorus and right into the very end of the song. Another thing about that song in particular that I really like is that if you listen closely to the fade out, you hear Paul McCartney start to really jam on the bass. I mean, he's really jamming on the bass, and it's unfortunate that song fades at that point, because I think that song could have probably gone on for another 5 minutes into a dance track or something. My favorite track is the last track, 1985, because it's a hard charging song. It's Paul pounding really hard on the piano and everything, and it just goes on and on, and it builds up to a giant crescendo toward the very end, much like the last track on Sgt. Pepper's A Day in the Life. When I first heard that track on the cassette, I thought it was a mistake, because after the crescendo, it fades out with the last choruses of Band on the Run, and I thought that was a manufacturing defect on the tape that was left there accidentally. Only when I bought the album myself and heard it on the record, then I learned that it was like, oh, that's intentional. That's great. I love that. So, 1985 is now almost 35 years ago, and I still have this album. I don't have my original album, because that album is probably, I play that album so much, it probably sounds horribly bad now if I had the original album, because I played it so often and so much that it drove my parents crazy with it. I got the record version of it. I have it on CD, and also I have it on DTS compact disc with surround sound, because the album was available in quad, and the DTS CD is a quad version of that album. Band on the Run is my favorite McCartney album. Period, end of sentence. And the great thing about the internet is that through it and through Google Plus, I met Phil. And Phil educated me on something that I did not know about this album at all, that the track that's on the American version, Hell on Wheels, was not on the UK version of that album. Finding 10 albums that inspire me is a hard thing to do, because I have to wonder exactly how much did they inspire me, or just how much do I like them, and how did they inspire me, if they did inspire me at all. So right now I'm going to back away from that list, because I just don't think I can really come up with 10. If I did come up with 10, it probably could be more like 20. And if I had 20 albums, I doubt if I even own at least half those albums at this moment right now, because I might have heard it from someone may let me borrow an album that became another gateway to another type of artist and stuff. So I don't know. But for me, for right now, I stand on Band on the Run.